Hello, my diamonds, my TikTokers, and my Teletubbies. Actually, my diamonds, because I'm just going to say my diamonds. You know, it's just so amazing how you have a lot of women who want to have children because they automatically assume that they're going to have someone who's going to love them and who's going to stick by them. You know, but you have to. I'm listening to this beautiful woman, and she's saying, screw these kids. When it comes to these adult children, the moment they see they don't need you anymore, that's why I always said, yeah, you have to have people need you opposed to want you. We all want to be wanted, but yeah, that don't last too long. This woman, she's amazing. And I'm looking on social media, and you have a lot of these mothers who are forming support groups because they're saying, F these adult children. Because when they grow up and they feel they don't need you anymore, they talk about you like a dog. They treat you like trash. They try to make you feel, you know, you know what? Let me just share this with you. Because this lady, what? I was like, yes. And I joined her support group. Yes, I did. Because she's right.
Fuck these grown ass kids. DNA does not make us family. You know what I'm not gonna do? Let no one tell my story. I am not going to be afraid to tell someone my story. I'm not going to be afraid to let folks know that I have no DNA that I speak to. I am not going to be afraid to let folks know how my daughters truly feel about me. I'm not going to be afraid to share my...
You hear what she said? She's not going to be afraid to let people know how her daughters really feel about her. Parents, mothers, especially single mothers, they do the best that they can based on their resources, their situation, and their understanding. They didn't sit up here and walk away and do like their fathers did. These mothers have did everything in their power to try to do the best that they can. And when these kids grow up and they start making decisions, as adult children, and they see that they're not better than their parents, now they want somebody who they can blame. And it's always going to be the mother. You're supposed to be their punching bag. They don't want no mother. They talk about, I want you to just be a mother. No, you don't. You want a punching bag. You want someone who you don't have to take accountability because you're now an adult. You're a grown up. Let me see you. I don't ever want to see you do nothing wrong. You're going to do everything right according to these adult children. Come on, let me see you break the cycle since you're so much better than your parents.
Emotions. I'm not going to be afraid to let folks know that DNA don't make us family. And fuck these grown ass kids. I'm not going to be afraid and hide myself in the closet of the things that I have been through and the things that I'm going through. DNA does not make us family, and I can't stress that enough. When you think you have DNA on your side, oops a daisy, they surprise the fuck out of you and let you know they was never in your corner, period.
Yep.
Stop thinking that your children won't ever turn on you, because they will. And if they...
I love that point that she brought out. Stop thinking that your children will never turn on you. You have children, they don't even like you. They talk about, oh, I love you, but I don't like you. No, man, you can keep that kind of love, baby. I'm not trying to hear none of that. But like she says, DNA don't make you family. Me personally, I'm a firm believer in flesh and blood. I'm going to look out for you. But I have to change my whole mindset. Forget this nonsense. And like I said, there's not a day that goes by, or at least every other day, that I don't hear my children's father when he said, I'm not giving up my life for these kids because they're not going to do it for me. And he said that when they was 4 and 5 years old. Now, when a kid is 4 and 5 years old, you get to see what their personality is really going to be like. And he automatically saw that these are the type of kids, they're not going to step up for me. They're not going to be loyal. They're not going to have integrity for me. So he didn't have no integrity or loyalty for them. Why should he? Was he wrong? No, he was not.
Have showed you already, and signs are already there. Don't be afraid to speak on it. Don't be afraid to have your voice to say, fuck these grown ass kids. Do not be afraid to take the step away from DNA. DNA will hold you back in a pit of depression. Do not be fucking afraid to take the step away from them, because DNA don't make us family, and it hurts. Trust me. I found out last week that the last DNA that I talked to don't love me, don't respect me, and they showed me in a way that I would never imagine. I already knew my daughters hated me. That's why I tell my story, because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid anymore, you all. And I'm not hiding in a fucking closet. They would not have my emotions on lockdown. Fuck these grown ass kids, and DNA does not make us family. Real talk.
Thank you, girlfriend. And you have so many mothers who are now starting to form these support groups, because these adult children, they have no gratitude, no appreciation. You know, there are a lot of things that you've done right. They don't want to focus on that part. They want to focus on all the things that you did wrong. But yet, they'll talk about how toxic you are, and then they'll go home to that alcoholic husband, that no good husband who abuses them financially. They'll go home to that man who just totally rips them a new one when it comes to their emotions, and when it comes to mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. The last time I checked, that's toxic. But they will definitely take their mother and their parents and throw them in the garbage. Are you serious? And then they wonder why things are not going well for them. And it's not going to. The same way they don't have loyalty and integrity and being faithful when it comes to their parents, especially their mother. Those men that they run into, they're not going to have no loyalty, integrity for you. It's called reaping what you have sown. You have women who have been in these relationships for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And then they wonder, how is it that my husband could do this to me? How is it that he could do this to me? The same way you did it to your mother. How about that part? The first command that comes with a promise. If you want things to go well for you, honor your parents. And even if they're toxic, the Bible still said what it says, and it stands on what it says. Honor your parents. You know, the same way you honor and you stick by those no good husbands and those no good men. Just look at divorce court. I'm not lying to you. Look at the show on YouTube called For My Man. Look at all of these shows where you have women fighting Karamo. These women are with these men who are toxic. They're toxic. They're no good. And then they want to sit here and talk so badly about their mother, but look at the kind of men that you're choosing. And you can't blame that on your mother, sweetheart, because you're grown. You're in the driver's seat. You got the key to the car. You got the gasoline. You all stirred up. Yeah, that's right. Let me see you do better. Since you feel that you're so much better than your mother. Okay, break the cycle. Let's see you do better. And another thing, what do your children have to say about you? How did your children turn out? Let's take a look at that part. And you have a lot of mothers who are now, like I said, support groups are they're developing rapidly. They're rapidly all on social media, support groups, because a lot of mothers, they're sick and tired of these no good adult children who don't appreciate anything. The only thing they can think to do is to try to tear you down. They want to focus on everything that went wrong and never focus on all the good things you did. There's a lot of good things that you've done because, look, they're grown. They're alive to tell it. And they exaggerate so much. That's why I said I want to hear both sides. I want to hear the adult child side and I want to hear the mother side. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.